Is Home Partners of America too good to be true? Is it just another scam program? We're gonna break it down. There is a right way to rent and there is a wrong way to rent, and I bet you've been doing it wrong. Okay, that's just my personal opinion, and everybody's situation is different, and what you need might be different depending on the stage of your life. So first, why would someone want to rent from Home Partners of America? There are a lot of reasons. I currently rent from HPA, and I'm a real estate broker here in Colorado. It could be that you're just looking to rent and you want a better quality home. Maybe you want to purchase, but you can't quite purchase just yet. Something's holding you back. You just went through a divorce, you're saving for your down payment, whatever the reason is that's holding you back, it doesn't matter. I personally did it because we needed to be in a certain high school's boundaries for my daughter. And there were rarely homes available for rent in the area, and the ones that were, I could pay the same market monthly rent. I could go onto the MLS, choose from all the homes available, and even in the heat of the market, there were more homes available for sale than there were for rent by a lot. And those homes that were on the market were oftentimes much better cared for and in much better condition. Also at that time, housing prices were increasing up to 20% year over year, so getting into a Home Partners home locked in that rate to 3.5% to 5.5%, depending on which program you're in, per year. So I know exactly what this house will cost this year, next year, and for 5 years in the future. Even if the market were to go crazy, those prices are locked. Same with my rent. I know exactly what my rent is going to be for the next 5 years with price increases each year, but they are very small compared to some of the price increases that we've seen landlords impose on their tenants. I had a friend down the street that had to pay $600 more per month, and it was a surprise. She found out 2 months before her lease was up, didn't have the money to move, so guess what? She's paying $600 more per month. I've worked with plenty of clients that want to try before they buy. They're not sure which area they want to live in just yet. So you can try out the area, try out the home before you ever buy it. So what's the process? What hoops do you have to jump through to get into a Home Partners of America home? First, you go online, you submit an application, but unlike other landlords, you only pay one application fee. Now, once you're approved, you can go look at any house on the market. We can submit as many offers as needed, although right now we're not seeing that many offers needed, but previously it could take a few tries, and you don't pay another fee for any of those tries. When you're looking at a typical rental, you apply for one and you pay the fees, and then that doesn't work out. Well, you apply for another one, you pay the separate fees. Each time, when you get your approval from Home Partners, we'll get you set up on an MLS search within the parameters. It does depend on the price of the house, the HOA fees, the taxes of the area. So we're kind of in a general area where we're searching for houses there. We'll go look at houses as they pop up that you like, and before we submit them to Home Partners, we'll be able to find out just about the rent that you'll actually pay for that property. Then we submit the property to Home Partners. If they approve of the home, we'll write up a contract together, Home Partners and I represent them as the buyer. I help you through the process. We'll submit that offer to the seller. Once the seller accepts that offer and they are officially under contract, they're going to send you 2 documents. You're going to get a rental approval document where it breaks down the rent and the cost of the house if you choose to purchase it for the next 5 years, so you know exactly what those numbers are at that time. And then you will also get a resident request form where they ask if you want new carpet, new paint, if you'd like them to request that the seller leave the washer and dryer or the refrigerator, that sort of thing. And we can go into the details when we get to that point, but it's just a really quick form you fill out and okay. You'll fill out those 2 forms and sign them, and then within 48 hours or 2 business days, you'll make your deposit to Home Partners. Then we're officially under contract. If for some reason this deal falls apart, say the inspection's terrible and Home Partners just can't buy it, you can either get your deposit back in full, or they can hold on to it to go towards the next house that you choose. And they typically wire it back within a day or 2. So during the under contract process, myself and Home Partners of America will be inspecting the house to make sure it's safe, there's no issues, the roof is great, the appliances work, everything is in good condition. After closing, Home Partners will take about 2 weeks to make ready the home. They add any additional repairs, cleaning, whatever needs to be done for you to move in. Your agent is always there to help along the way. So let's talk about some of the pros and cons, because it sounds easy peasy. You're just renting from another landlord. It's just a different way to choose a house. But there are some cons, just like any rental or purchase or any decision you make in life. So let's talk about those. First, and this one I find very important, your rent payments are secure. You know exactly what you're going to pay this year and here in Colorado for the next 5 years. There are no surprise rental increases. Nobody's going to sell the house out from under you all of a sudden, and then you have to find a new place to live. So security is a huge one for me personally. The home that you're moving into is typically in much better condition than most rentals that you'll find. The people that lived there previously were homeowners. They weren't tenants. Now, they're oftentimes not going to defer maintenance or, buy cheaper products for the property because it's their home. This is another big one for me too. Unlike some of the other lease to own programs, if you don't exercise your option to buy, it's okay. You don't have to do it. You can treat it just like a regular rental that you never intended to buy. But you do not get penalized for that with Home Partners. With Divvy, you have to pay them out of your deposit and possibly out of your pocket 1 to 3% as a relisting fee if you choose not to purchase from them. With Home Partners, it's just a deposit. If you don't buy and use that towards your down payment, it's simply a deposit like any other rental, and as long as you didn't trash the place, you're going to get it back. And here in Colorado in 2022, they have even strengthened the tenant laws to what they can and cannot charge you for upon move out. Not just Home Partners, but any landlord. So that's a wonderful thing. Another pro is, like I said previously, you can request that they paint or add carpet. Now, they won't do it if both are in good condition, but they will if the paint is chipping or the carpet is really worn, so you get a fresh place to move into. Do note that that does delay the move-in time a little bit, can take up to 30 days instead of the usual 10 to 14 days after closing. Another pro is they provide financial planning services to help you fix up your credit or save for the down payment that you're hoping to do. Now, some of the cons. In my opinion, they're not big, they're not outrageous, and they're no different than some other landlords. Even less so, in my opinion, and my personal experiences, and we'll get into that. They are strict on their rules and their criteria. You either fit in their box or you don't. That's it. We can't ask them, oh, hey, I have, this credit score. Can you make an exception? They won't. They just won't. You have to fit into the criteria. So if you have any questions about that, let's chat before you ever apply so you're not wasting a fee in case you don't qualify. There are a few extra fees. Now, my last apartment that I lived in charged $150 in random ass fees. There were things like pest control, shared spaces, electricity I got billed for, a $5 real estate fee every month. I don't even know what that was for, but I was paying $150 more than my stated rent because of all of these fees. So to me, the Home Partners fees are negligible. One is that you have a monthly filter fee of $15. There is a required $13 a month liability insurance. If you get that on a separate rider with your current insurer, that's fine. If not, they will automatically start it up and charge you for that every month. One that's minor but gets under my skin personally is a $10 a month utility service fee from Conservice. Now, Conservice used to also service my apartment building, so I was paying for that as well in one of my fees. So it's not outlandish, it just annoys me personally. Another one that could be considered a con is that you need to deposit 2 months worth of rent as your security deposit. Now, here in Colorado, that's not abnormal at all. Another con is that they don't maintain the washer and dryer. If you do get a washer and dryer left from the seller, it's technically their property, but they will not maintain it. Now, if you bring your own, it's yours. You don't have to leave it in the house. Problem solved. And one last final con that I have seen a lot of complaints about online. In fact, that's usually why I see a bad review. It can take a while to get anything fixed. You are working with a giant corporate property manager. We had our refrigerator just die one day, died out of the blue. And We submitted the request. They were super quick to get somebody out here. Like the next morning, somebody was out here to look at it. Turns out the compressor was bad. They submitted the report. Well, there was some back and forth and they wanted a second opinion and this and that. And we ended up not having a refrigerator for, I think, 2.5 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. We ended up having to go out and purchase a chest freezer and a mini fridge. So that was an extra $350 we weren't intending to spend, but we have 3 children. We needed something. That being said, in my previous apartment, my dryer broke. So they created a clog and my dryer wouldn't dry. And instead of fixing this, they would just come and look at it, say, yep, it doesn't work. We're gonna get somebody on it. And weeks would go by, I wouldn't hear anything, and I would reach out. They would send somebody over, say, yep, it doesn't work. We're gonna get somebody on it, over and over again for over 9 months. By the time I moved out, my dryer still wasn't even working. So while 2.5 weeks isn't ideal, it could be worse. So like I said, I think this is the best way to rent, whether you're looking to purchase, you can't purchase yet, you're looking to check out a neighborhood, or you're just looking to rent and you don't want a piece of crap house. I think it's amazing. I fangirl over it, which is kind of ridiculous, but I do. And if you want more info, check out the description box below, shoot me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions or direct you to somebody that can if I'm not able to.